Hey friends, so again, yesterday I was going to finish up my loaf of bread. I got the bread started in the morning. The house was kind of a little bit chilly, and I normally would have baked it in the evening, but I didn't feel like it. So one of the things that's cool about sourdough bread is you can put it on pause by just putting it in the refrigerator. So I had my bowl, as you'll recall, with the plate on it. I put it in the refrigerator last night so that it stopped fermenting, and then this morning I took it out. Right now I've got my oven preheating. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I do to actually finish up the loaves. So at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a proofing basket, which is the basket that I showed you. I'm going to use my bench scraper. Sorry, this is my silicone scraper. This is my bench knife. These are my two tools that I'm going to use to make the bread today. I'm going to form a loaf. I'm going to let it sit for a little while so it kind of all oozes together. And then I'm going to throw it in the oven and then bake it for about an hour. So the oven temperature, again, everything about the baking bread, it's all just kind of like, nah, close enough. So my oven is off by like, I don't know, 100 degrees or so. So I just try and get it as hot as I can. In general, I like to get the oven close to 450 or 500 degrees if I can. I put it in and turn it down, but I'll get there. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna dump the dough, it's wet, I'm gonna dump the dough without trying to rip any bubbles onto a floured surface, and then I'm gonna pull it and flip it 4 times. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stretch the outer skin, and you'll see that this dough has, now that it's fermented, the gluten fibers have gotten all stringy. So if I had tried to pull this dough before, it would just be a glumpy mess like normal flour and water, but now it's like super stringy and stretchy. This makes great pizza dough. If I were making pizza at this stage, I would use the same recipe, and I would cut it into thirds and then roll it out thin on parchment paper. I bake my pizza on parchment paper. It just makes life so much easier, and it makes amazing pizza. So without further ado, oh, and when you make pizza, you can work the dough. So I roll it and use a lot of flour and dry it out a little bit, because otherwise you can't really work with it very well. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to step 2, video 2.